What is up, guys? Jesse Stockton here with Life Accelerator Coaching, and today I'm going to continue on in the series of the 5 steps to turn around any situation. And like the others, I'm going to go over how Tony Robbins suggests to do it, and then how I developed my own way of doing this. His 5 steps, as a recap, per usual, is feed your mind, change your body, find a role model, get or make a plan, feed your spirit. And we're on number 4 today, which is get or make a plan. My action steps are: where am I now? Where do I want to be? Who has been there before me? Do something about it and allow room for error. Choose me and fuel your fire with nutrition and movement. So getting back to Tony's 4th step, get or make a plan. So now that you have kind of found your role model, his idea around this is to choose one of their paths. And so very simply, just take the plan that has already been used before you and follow it. And I can say from personal experience that this works out great. Depending on what you're trying to do, and it really doesn't matter, it's basically a guarantee that someone, no matter what area that you're focusing on, your health, your finances, your relationships, someone has been in the same position, if not worse position than you are in right now at this moment, and you can follow step by step what they did. So get or make a plan for me. I can say, let's see, within my past, when I was trying to figure out how to change my health, this may sound silly, but when you're kind of in the darkness, or walking through the desert without a map, you're just constantly looking for a sign. So I was following a lot of Netflix documentaries on health. I can remember there being a lot of them about juicing diets. I remember coming across a bunch of literature about cleanses and watching a lot of videos on that. So that's what I started doing. I started drinking a juice every day with no real direction on how to do it, other than a recipe, which is not a great idea. And some of you might be like, you're crazy, but there's a very specific way to do almost everything if you're going to capitalize on the action that you're taking. I can remember very clearly I had lost all my possessions. I kind of exited a relationship in the middle of the night, literally with the clothes on my back, and without really going into much more detail around that, just because this is kind of painful to think about. I left whatever, I left. And I essentially ran to a friend's house. And this friend graciously allowed me to stay there in this condition that I was in, facing all of these things that I was facing. And he didn't even own a couch. And he was like, yo, I got this like lazy boy chair in this in my living room. And he was like, you can take over the living room, and he didn't even have a TV, which is cool. It was great, actually. So I moved into the living room with the clothes on my back and my toothbrush. And he had a book called The 4-Hour Body, and I'm sure that many of you have heard about this, by Tim Ferriss. And so this is the first time that I had a step-by-step plan laid out for me as to how to change my health. And I literally followed every single thing that he said in this book, and still to this day, I use a lot of the techniques from the book. Many of them I have discarded because they did not work for me, and that's okay. But I saw dramatic changes in my life because I had someone who had gone there before me and then these things are everywhere. Just find one and pick one and stick to it. I did exactly what he said. I can remember setting my alarm for every 45 minutes, every 30 minutes, every hour, depending on what time chunk he was saying to do. Accomplish your real big goals in the morning, and these are still things that I do to this day. Because of many different factors, mainly being that your cognition is highest in the morning, and your ability to focus is highest in the morning, and your what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever. Regardless, so I followed the plan, and I did this. I had an alarm that would go off that would tell me what to do. Every time to take a break, time to go eat some peanuts, time to get back on your computer, time to write such and such, time to work out for 45 minutes. And what was cool is just within that plan alone, I developed the muscle memory to no longer need the alarms. It just became habit. So yeah, get or make your plan and then stick to it. Now, going back to my number 4. My number 4 is choose me. And I know that may sound kind of weird and egotistical and selfish and strange, but like so many before me, I will just bring you back to the example of when you get on an airplane and they are going over the directions of when you are crashing. What you're supposed to do is take your own mask and put it on your face first. They don't say, take your child's mask and put it on them, even though they're literally dying for oxygen. If you have 2 children, don't choose one of them to put their mask on first. Put your own mask on first. So that's what that means to me, is choose me. And within that, it means figuring out, which becomes very, very clear once you're clear on what it is that you want, you're going to be faced with a million decisions, just like you are every day. And the decision becomes very clear. Does this serve me and the thing that I want, or is this taking away from me and the thing that I want? And so the decision for me to choose my own health was hey, I'm being invited to go out and party tonight and go to the bar, and I know exactly what happens. And so I had to make the decision. Is this gonna bring me health and therefore that's how I equated my happiness, was like health? Or is this gonna like make me do all the work that I did to get to this point and then jump me right back over here? So choose me. And so yeah, that's how I've gotten to the point in my life that I'm in right now. Going through, diving deep down into a rabbit hole of like nutrition and biohacking and fitness and exercise and doing yoga and meditation and like doing all these really cool things. It's because I chose myself. And I did like what was needed for me to do, what was best for me. And it seems painful at first, but the reward is so great and so vast. Basically, you get your life back. And so, yeah. Just as a recap for my 5 steps, where am I now? Where do I want to be? Who has been there before me? Do something about it and allow room for error. Choose me and fuel the fire with nutrition and movement. And those will be coming at you tomorrow. If you liked this video, please give me a like or a subscribe. As always, it is not some sort of egotistical thing. It is just allowing me to kind of take further steps in this journey of trying to help others. And I'm trying to do it in this on this platform in this free way, because there's like a million things that you could pay for, and I want to like try to figure out how to help as many people as I can. And I understand that a lot of people can't afford services like coaching, but if you are interested in a coach, I would love to talk with you about that. And I give all of my clients their first session for free, just to see what it's like. So my name is Jesse, and I hope this helped.